It's just, you can't do it politically. You just literally cannot do it. Okay? Transparent financing, unless I have transparent financing, also transparent spending. I mean, this bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay? So it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. And, it's the second best argument. Look, I wish Mark was right. We can make it all transparent. But I'd rather have this law than not. So it's kind of like his reporter story. Yeah, there's things I wish I could change, but I'd rather have this law than not.
There's a third video that emerged today featuring MIT economist Jonathan Gruber, one of the architects of Obamacare, suggesting, in his view, that voters' lack of sophistication helped Obamacare supporters push the bill through. This quote I'm going to play for you, this bite, is about taxing insurance companies with the knowledge that those costs would be passed on to the consumer. Let's play that sound.
We just tax the insurance companies. They pass on higher prices. That offsets the tax break we get. It ends up being the same thing. It's a very clever, basically exploitation of the lack of economic understanding of the American voter.
I think that's it. Yes, sir. Oh, you again. Next.
On health care.
On health care.
Speaker Boehner made it clear last week they're probably going to have multiple votes in the new Congress on health care. We have the news here in the past few days about some of the comments made by Mr. Gruber, which has sort of united that side, and they're talking about possibly having hearings and calling him up to talk about what he meant and the architecture behind this. Tell me, how does your side engage on this issue in a different way with them going back to this well again? And what does that mean? Does it give you more opportunity, or does it continue to defend it, or is this just, you feel like you're fighting the same battle over and over?
Well, you gave an interesting set of observations, but one that you skipped is that Mr. Gruber's comments were a year old, and he has backtracked from most of them.
But that still engaged them.
Nonetheless, you didn't have it in your narrative. And that's really important, that he doesn't. He's not even advocating the position that he was at some conference and said. So I don't know who he is. He didn't help write our bill. And so, with all due respect to your question, you have a person who wasn't writing our bill commenting on what was going on when we were writing the bill, who has withdrawn some of the statements that he made. So let's put him aside. But to your further question, which is more important, and with or without him, the Republicans will try to undermine the Affordable Care Act, and we recognize that. We're not finished. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We're not finished getting all of our reports back from CBO, but we'll have a side-by-side to compare. But our bill brings down rates. I don't know if you have seen Jonathan Gruber of MIT's analysis of what the comparison is to the status quo versus what will happen in our bill for those who seek insurance within the exchange. And our bill takes down those costs even from now, and much less preventing the upward spiral. So again, we're confident about what we set out to do in the bill: middle class affordability, security for our seniors, and accountability to our children. Are you telling me I should have a drink of water?
The Congressional Budget Office said yesterday that the majority of American families who buy insurance in the new marketplace will create what we call the health insurance exchange. What they will see is their premiums go down. They'll go down by as much as 60%. Out of 100% of the American people, 93% will have a drop in their insurance premiums with this legislation. 93%. CBO's experts aren't the first to recognize these benefits. Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Jonathan Gruber is one of the most respected economists in the world, said in today's Washington Post, here's a quote, "Here's a bill that reduces the deficit, covers 30 million people, 30 million more people, and has a promise of lowering premiums." Pretty good statement.